Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Everard, and we are broadcasting live on the Truth Frequency.
Today is a very, very special day because we are facing literally a historical moment in Italy. Italy is the third biggest economy in Europe, and one of the major treaties of the European Union is called the Treaty of Rome. And what we've seen in the last 9 years is people power take over the political sphere of Italy. And there's basically two parties, the Five Star Movement and the Northern League. I think they just call themselves the League now. And there's been a lot of problems to actually get these parties into power because the old entrenched kind of Illuminati people have been trying to stop them from getting a government together. But we do now finally have the League and the Five Star Movement actually taking power in Italy. This means that the Truth Movement is not, you know, some kind of airy-fairy opposition body, but it means that they have become the establishment. That means that they actually control the parliament. And our special guest is Mr. Leo Zagami. Leo?
Hello, everybody from Rome, Italy.
Yeah. Now, we're also joined by Mr. Rod Scarth, who's over in Wiltshire. Hello, Rod.
Hi. Nice to be with you.
And Mr. David Raventós, who's live in Barcelona.
Hello there.
And the Spanish government has actually basically collapsed because Rajoy, who's a man who we've criticized Rajoy many, many times on this show. This man is partly responsible for sending the Gestapo in to smash the windows and the doors in of polling stations. This happened only just a few months ago during the referendum of independence of the Catalan people, and Rajoy and his government have collapsed because of corruption. And so we're now facing a situation where two very, very big, powerful economies in Europe, Italy and Spain, are facing really basically quite a sea change, to be honest. Now, the other two most important powers within Europe, Germany and the United Kingdom, both those parliaments, both those governments are being propped up with bribery. And I just want to explain this for all of our Canadian and American listeners. What we've got in the United Kingdom at the moment is we've got Theresa May. She is not really, strictly speaking, the Prime Minister. She had a disastrous general election. I don't even think they really won the election. It was rigged. But she does not have what you call an overall majority. She is in Downing Street for one reason only, and that is because she brokered a deal with 9 members of parliament from Ireland. And she's bribed them with, wait for it, £1.5 billion, that's nearly $2 billion, of our tax money to be given to these Irish parliamentarians who nobody's even heard of, supposedly for, you know, generating or regenerating the economy in Northern Ireland. As I say, we don't know even who their names are. They're just Mr. and Mrs. Nobody. And they're meant to be voting in allegiance with the Conservatives. If they decide not to vote in allegiance with the Conservatives, then this so-called Conservative government will collapse. It will collapse anyway because now there is a new class action website that's being started. It means that any British taxpayer can sign up onto this website and oppose the taxes being used for that bribe. So basically, this entire Theresa May government is in tatters. Now let's look at Merkel. Merkel in Germany is kind of a carbon copy situation. It's very, very similar situation. She basically, I think it was a long time. It was like 11 weeks or something between the end of the election before she, then announced, oh, I'm still the leader after all of these years. Merkel, let's face it, she's a former secret police agent. She used to report on people's TV aerials in East Germany. If they were pointing towards West Germany, where people would try and tune in and watch the Beatles, those people would have their doors kicked in. They'd be dragged away and beaten up. And that was her job. She was a spy for Stasi. Now, she is also being propped up. She, strictly speaking, it has not got what you call an overall majority in the German parliament. So there's a mirror image, very, very strong similarities there between the United Kingdom government and the German government. Now come back to Spain and Italy. We've got a situation here where Rajoy and his government have collapsed. I personally, my feeling right now is that the millions and millions and millions of people that want independence for Catalonia, now is the time to strike while the iron is hot and just have another referendum, maybe do a digital referendum this time, so that there's no Gestapo that can be sent in. And, strike while the iron is hot. And, just have another no confidence vote, this time on the internet. So, Leo, let's kick off with these policies. There was a guy from the League in Italy. He was on British radio this morning. If I understood exactly what he was saying, is that he was saying that the austerity policies from these so-called experts that have been running the Italian economy all these years have totally not worked, and that austerity and the policies of austerity that have been designed in Brussels are now going to be, and he used the word annihilated, and there's going to be no more diktats from Brussels. Okay, now if David is still there, because he's been hanging on for like an hour and a half. David, are you there? He's live from Barcelona.
I'm here. You hear me?
Oh, he's there. There he is. Now, David, can you outline, because obviously we've got a lot of Canadian listeners, a lot of American listeners. Can you give us a kind of summary of the scandal that has caused the Spanish government to collapse?
Well, there's a double scandal, because one is the scandal itself, and the second is that we, in our program, we warned 7 months ago that this would be used for a tricky cosmetic change to murder Catalan independence. So the first thing is this Gürtel scandal is about bribery, double accountancy, and all kind of corruption.
And that's Rajoy. That's the main
Rajoy was the prime minister of Spain.
Yeah.
Until last week, until 2 days ago. The question is, as I mentioned, everything historically is not a matter of being Catalano-centric or something, but historically speaking, only the fact that Catalonia becomes independent will be mentioned in history books around this time. So lots of things going on in Spain cannot be understood without relating to it. And the question is...
And the big question I've got for you, David, has the Spanish mainstream media, I'm talking about the really big main TV channels, is the biggest one TV1? Is that the biggest one?
Yes, that's the public television, yes.
Now, my question is this. Have they been covering fairly what has happened in Italy? With the Five-Star Movement? They've
been, not much. I haven't followed. I do a health thing, which I don't watch a lot of television. I listen to your program and I do my own program. So, because, I've been saying this week, you need to switch off television and switch on your brain if you want to collaborate with this.
Yeah.
And they've been very busy with hands-on in this change of government. But I want to mention in our Radio Hadrian program done the 27th of October, program 19, it was done 3 hours after the second fake declaration of independence in Catalonia. I said three things. I said, hold your horses because this is not for real, and it hasn't been for real. I said, now Spain is going to put in prison the Catalan traitor leaders to protect them and make them heroes, and that has happened. Mm-hmm. And then I said, and now they're going to use the Gürtel scandal to bring down Partido Popular government. So with a newer, fresher face, they can do a Scottish-style referendum to murder independence. And
referendum where it's rigged. And the Scottish referendum really was rigged.
Yeah, So now we're getting closer to this. Well, actually, the new prime minister is a guy who goes to the Bilderberg meetings. Socialist Party was heavily financed by the CIA through the Willy Brandt Foundation in the 70s.
Oh my God, he was a Nazi.
Prime Minister from 1982 to 1996, Felipe González, has been documented and proven it's a CIA mole. So technically, nothing has changed, nothing in Parliament. And I'm going to explain a little detail to show how they play with our brains. This scandal sentence could already have been out on Monday, but one judge couldn't sign it that day. Then Tuesday, Basque political party supports Spanish government on the budget. Okay,
what a load of nonsense!
And then Wednesday they signed the sentence. So all scandal can happen. And this political party then votes with the other side. So they've had an agreement with one side on Tuesday and they betray them on Friday. Yeah. It's all a farce. It's just
big question, Dave, because we're going to run out of time very soon.
Yes, I'm sorry.
How are we going to get a good situation out of this? Because it seems to me that now is the time to strike now. Because really what's needed now is a new digital referendum for Catalonia, and you need a whole new government. There's an anti-austerity government.
Well, referendums, as I've told before, I don't believe in. The question is, I agree with what you say, and you've told me privately and publicly, but the question is, Spain has several thousand people infiltrated in society. So everything that moves, people in Catalonia are used to do things when some of the people they trust tells them to do so, and not when these people don't tell them to do that.
But so is there going to be a general election in Spain now?
We don't know. It's early days yet.
Surely there's got to be if the entire government's collapsed.
But we'll see, because now this Pedro, this guy, he was ousted from Socialist Party 2 years ago, and he made a fake comeback. They all play with the time. This guy needed to be out because they needed to do the fake referendum in October in Catalonia.
Yeah.
And now they push him back in power. And surprisingly, he's prime minister. And let's say this. Torra, president of Catalonia, nobody knew 2 years ago. This Pedro Sánchez was getting out of his own party 2 years ago. And then we have a Twitter where this Kim Torra was supporting this Pedro Sánchez to run Socialist Party. A tad too coincidental, if you ask me. New World Order is playing with us like mice.
Yeah. And also there was a BBC News story this week run on Radio 4 saying that the boss of the Catalan police he's being charged with criminal activity or something. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, the question.
That's total bullshit, isn't it? Is it bullshit charge?
Both sides. Yeah, he's being accused of being an armed band. But the whole thing, and we need to put this out in the world, is both sides play together.
Yeah.
Now they need to do a Scottish-style referendum. There's something big I discovered, or I confirmed this week. And I want to let it out there. And, well, in case something might happen to me, you would know what the reason for this is. We're planning to put together an international organization gathering resistance from Basque Country, Ireland, Scotland, and Catalonia. And we met some people who's been fighting for independence there for 40 years. And we are certain that the ETA movement has been run by Spain directly for the last 40 years. Oh, God,
yeah.
So
absolutely.
the criminal attacks happening there, and we know about police dealing with drugs to murder the youth of Basque Country. And everybody we know here that seems to work for the Basque Country works for Spain, actually. So that's the kind of thing we need to out in the future. And, of course, it's life risking. But that's what we are going to do. And thanks for the opportunity, as always.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to mention that George Soros has been present in Catalonia, not present physically.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's been setting up an anti-Brexit organization in Britain 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but
the guy's like an octopus.
Yeah, he wasn't presently here, but the question is, there's been a fraud that has been uncovered.
Oh.
A fake guy was threatening to expose a neo-Falangist Ciudadanos party. In the end, it was a fake, but he was spreading some concoction that George Soros was financing him. saying that George Soros supports the independence of Catalonia. That's PSYOP, that's disinformation.
Right.
That's neo-Nazis are spreading that in Catalonia, in Spain, to make the good people all over the world that might not like George Soros, and rightly so, to dislike Catalan independence.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a reverse propaganda.
They're trying to link Zionism, Freemasonry, European Union, and the Catalan leaders in a plan to advance Catalan independence. That's the contrary.
Okay, but can I ask you something? Podemos is partly financed by Soros. I mean, Podemos.
But I think this horse race is a horse race where every single horse is financed by Soros, Rothschild, and the like. So it doesn't matter who you bet on. The only thing that's going to because this organization, 15 May, Podemos is worse than that. It's something worse than that. There was 200 murders. There were 200 murders in Madrid in 2004.
Are these Muslim slasher murders?
Yeah, well, they said it was Muslim, but we have evidence that it was NATO behind that.
NATO?
NATO. The question is, the bombs were put under the trains. It's the same thing as 9/11.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Madrid train bombs.
Yes, the question is, they said it was rucksacks inside. That's definitely
an inside job. It was exactly the same totally we had with London in 2007.
But the relevant thing is that the two leaders of Podemos then, Pablo Iglesias and Juan Carlos Monedero, were instrumental in the demonstrations after that. So they are accomplices with the thing. So
I see.
It's much worse than being financed by Soros or something. Everything we live in Spain is fake. Everything that happens in Catalonia is fake. And we are taking risks because we need to awake people. Everything.
Of course.
It's a gigantic Truman Show. And they want us to push for one.
Okay, now we've finished it. So we'll be back next week. You've got the anti-Trump news coming up now at the top of the hour. Thank you to Leo. Thank you to Christy in Rome. Thank you to David in Barcelona. Thanks to Rod. Thanks to Scotty. Also didn't get much edgeways in the show. And we'll all be back next week. All right, take care.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR-LIVE. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.